Boom. Can you see that? Is it, there's a blur. We're going to talk about the subprime auto market. I'm not gonna lie. I am so excited. You know, a year and a half ago, I got an amazing deal on a car. I got it for $30,000 under value. And to this day, it looks like I could still sell it for that much. And it's really exciting because a lot of people wanted to buy cars, but cars exploded in price and now they're coming down fast, right? Almost falling like a rock. New cars, you go to dealerships, they're giving you all kinds of incentives. It's like buying a house where they can't sell these cars, and used cars are plummeting in price too. Um, this is a big deal. So check this out. This story's out of Wall Street. It says auto loan balances burden subprime and prime delinquency rates in subprime dealer America's Car Mart in Q3 of 2024. That's a lot to take in. Do me a favor as we talk about this story and how awesomely horrible things are. And I say awesomely horrible because we're all going to go crush it. We're going to buy all kinds of cool cars during this crash. The crash is only going to get better. And no one's going to be able to stop it. Do me a favor and hashtag your dream car down below. Mine is a Shelby Cobra and a GT40, Ford GT40. Okay, so those two, and I'm going to buy this one next year. I know it's going to sound crazy, but I am going to buy a Lamborghini Huracan used. I'm going to pay $100,000. I know it sounds crazy. I'm going to do it on this channel, and it's not going to cost me a dime because I'm going to take a certain amount of money and flip it multiple times in these tax liens next year, and I'm going to show everybody on the channel. This is insane. Oh, real quick, shameless plug. If you want to learn how to give people loans because they're going to walk away from their paying their taxes, it's happening like crazy right now. You'll see. There's a link down below. I'll teach you about tax liens and tax foreclosure sales. And that course is going to go up and up and up throughout this year because it is going to be the best course in the world. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds cocky. It's not. It's because I'm determined to make that course so good for everybody that buys it. And you're going to see, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini Huracan with it from just the profits of the new company I started. All right. And what I mean by profits, I'm actually going to be buying the liens myself, not deeds, not foreclosures. I'm going to be buying liens and showing people how to make anywhere between 5 and 36% of their money. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Total balances of auto loans and leases for new and used vehicles rose by 1.1% or by $18 billion in Q3 from Q2 and 3.1% from year over year. What? Think about this. How could loan balances and leases for new and used vehicles rise? Stand by. But 3.1% year over year growth rate was the second smallest in Q1 of 2021. This is the second smallest. So it's not growing a lot. It always grows. People always want new cars. People are always, getting rid of cars. It's just this thing Americans especially do. We just like to be able to impress people that we don't even respect. I know a lot of those people. It says here, one of the reasons balances grew at a relatively slow rate is that more people are paying cash for their vehicles due to higher interest rates. When they say that, just so you know, you got to look at where the money's coming from because most of those cars are cheaper cars, and the ones that are expensive people are paying cash for, most of that comes from equity lines. You see, a year ago, equity lines exploded again, right back onto the market. I reported about it. I think you have probably seen, as a matter of fact, type 1, if you've been in a bank lately and you've seen 2 or 3 signs in your bank advertising home equity lines of credit. What's happened is people are tapping into the equity of their home again because they can't move. They want to fix up their house. They want to impress people they don't like, blah, 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 blah. And they are out there buying cars and all that kind of crap on equity lines. We can see that there's other data. But anyway, that's just to explain this little data set of why people are paying cash for cars. For new vehicles, the share of cash purchases rose 20% in recent quarters from 18% in Q1 of 2022. For used vehicles, the share of cash purchases rose 64% from 59% in Q1 of 2022. Now, the car that I'm in, I paid cash for it, but I actually had the cash. It actually came from my bank account. So my bank account had X in it the day before I bought the car, and then it had X minus whatever I paid for this car. Was it overpriced? Heck yeah, it was, but I needed the write-off. And the write-off was valuable, very valuable. And so, we've got to take a step back and realize that still the average American does not have $500 in their bank account, yet they've got a $5,000 credit card limit they can run up. And it's going to get worse. And this is where I'm showing you these stories in a way to get you to a point where you realize how many people are going to stop paying taxes, like property tax. It's happening like crazy. And then how many opportunities you've got coming up in this springtime. It says here, auto loan balances over the past 20 years ballooned by 135%. What? That is just nutball. But not because of spectacular unit sales growth. Far from it. New vehicle sales, responsible for the vast majority of auto loans and lease balances, have stagnated for 2 decades, interrupted by 2 big plunges. And if you look at when the big plunges happened, the first peak came in 1986, right before the crash in 1987. Then kablam! And then it gets going up and everything's great. And then you got the year 2000. Remember the dot-com bubble? Bing! And it comes down a little bit, then it steadies out a little bit. And it's like, oh, what do you mean the banks are crashing? And then bam, like that. Okay, so this is where we're at. So let me ask you this. I'm going to do a live poll right now. Do you think next year is going to be up in sales or down? Just type up or down. It's really simple. Come on, you can do it. And while your thumbs are moving at the speed of light, think about where we are as a nation. See, the truth is, I think Black Friday sales are going to be pretty awesome. And I think everyone's going to be like, yeah, the economy's roaring back. Trump did it. Yeah, but then you got to look at credit card balances. You're like, oh, crap, Trump didn't do it. They just sucked up more. See, and that's what's going on. They are just giving out debt like candy, except for housing, because housing's crashing. And refinances are plummeting. And I'm not talking about like people that want refinances. The amount of refinances that are being denied right now are collapsing. So there are some parts of the segment where banks are going, hey, let's give out credit cards like candy. The loan limits are smaller and they are shrinking the available credit we're giving to people, but let's give out credit cards and cars, but let's not give it out on houses. It's almost like we should be preparing for a housing crash. Here, check this out. The burden of auto loans and leases. One way to measure the burden of auto debt on households is the comparison to their disposable income, which includes after-tax wages plus income from interest, dividends, rentals, farms, small businesses, transfer payments, etc. It's what households have left over to pay for their cost of living and service their debts. Oh, follow where I'm going? Rising incomes and stagnating or declining new vehicle unit sales volume should have caused the burden of auto loans and leases to decline sharply over the past 2 decades. But rampant price increases over the years saw to it that the burden only moved up and down in a fairly narrow band. With the exception of 2008 to 2012 collapse of the auto industry in the US as prices began to decline in mid-2022, slowing the auto growth and the auto loan balances, disposable income rose sharply, and so the debt to disposable income ratio started to decline 2 years ago. The fact of the matter is, people have less money because electricity costs more, food costs more, and no matter what the White House tells you, inflation isn't going down. So there's a massive opportunity. Now, here's the question. Are you ready to take the opportunity? Grab the bull by the horns, you know? I should get a picture of me grabbing the bull by the horns. I love that movie. Anyway, go ahead and put the movie down below while I'm, working out my mind, reading a leather-bound book. You want to learn how to buy property really cheap, cheaper than a foreclosure auction? And would you like to learn how to loan money to people through the government and get a guaranteed rate of return of between 5% and 36% per year? Would you like to learn that? No, I'm not joking. I'm going to teach it. And what's really cool is there's a lot of people that have made millions and millions and millions of dollars charging people thousands and thousands of dollars for these courses. And it pisses me off. Probably because I'm the one that was a sucker and bought them a long time ago. And then I thought about it one day. I go, why am I not teaching people how to do this? And for like a fraction of the cost. So there it is. Mid-filming discount. Both courses are $379. if you listen, watch the course, it'll take me another month and a half to finish them. Your first deal will pay for that course. And then I want you to do it again and again and again. And then you're going to win. And then you're going to win some more. Anyway, sorry. I'm totally unprofessional. But the cool thing is, I can be unprofessional because I know what I got. And I hope you know what you got and that you've got the ability to go make some serious change and some serious moolah in the future, because the foreclosures are blowing up and the tax foreclosures are exploding and the liens are insane. I just saw a county put 4,000 liens on the auction and only 2,000 of them sold. So I've got 2,000 over the counters to go sift through. I'm pretty excited. I'm going to go make a crap ton of money. I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. I better go. The Economic Ninja is out.